Have you ever had like a killer app idea, Or maybe you realize your website is like, so last year,
Yeah.
then you remember you don't know the first thing about coding.
Right.
Well, today we are diving into something called vibe coding. It's pretty much like bringing your digital dreams to life just by you know, describing them.
It really is changing how we think about building websites and apps.
I'm your host name, and with me I have expert name, who's an expert in AI and no-code platforms. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. No code and AI are changing everything.
So this whole thing is about using AI and no-code tools to build stuff online without needing to be a coding whiz, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Our sources for this deep dive are all about this new way of creating digital things. It's like you can literally say, I want an app that does this, and the AI just makes it happen.
I know, right? It's crazy how far things have come.
Okay, so that's our mission for today, to unpack this whole vibe coding thing. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is vibe coding?
Okay, so vibe coding is all about using AI to translate your ideas into like actual code and designs. You tell the AI what you want in plain English, and it handles the technical stuff.
So instead of spending hours learning a code, I just tell the AI my vision and it does the work for me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having an AI coding buddy.
Okay, but how does that actually work? What are the steps involved in going from like an idea in my head to a real app or website using this vibe coding thing?
Sure. So it starts with you describing what you want. Let's say you want a website for your pottery business.
Okay, yeah.
You would tell the AI something like, I want a website that showcases my pottery with pictures, prices, and a way for people to contact me.
Right.
The AI then takes that description and starts building the website structure. It can suggest images, write some basic text, and even create the contact form.
Wow. And what if I don't like the initial design or the text that it comes up with? Can I change it?
Of course, you have full control. You can change colors, fonts, layouts, edit the text, and even upload your own pictures.
So the AI is like a starting point.
Exactly. It gives you a foundation to build upon.
Yeah.
And you can customize it to make it truly your own.
So let's talk about some of the specific platforms that make this possible. You mentioned Cursor earlier. Is that one of the tools people are using for vibe coding?
Yeah, Cursor's really cool. Imagine like a supercharged version of those code editors that developers use.
Oh, okay.
But it has built-in AI that assists you every step of the way.
So is it only for experienced coders, or can someone like me who's not a coder use it too?
You know, even if you're not a coding expert, you can still benefit from Cursor.
Yeah.
So you want to build that simple weather app we talked about.
Yeah.
You could literally type in, create a React app that shows me the current temperature in London.
And it just does it.
Yeah. Cursor will generate the basic code for the app, and if you don't understand what the code means, it can explain it to you line by line.
Really? So it's like having a coding tutor built in.
Exactly. And it can even help you debug errors and make your code more efficient. It's like a coding Swiss Army knife.
That's amazing. It sounds like it could really lower the barrier to entry for people who want to learn to code. Now, what about Lovable? I've had that name before.
Ah, Lovable. That one's specifically for building websites and landing pages, and is super user-friendly. Like no coding experience needed at all.
That sounds right up my alley.
So remember that fitness coach example? Well, with Lovable, you could say something like, create a modern-looking website for a yoga instructor with a schedule, testimonials, and a sign-up form for a free trial.
Okay, and then what?
And Lovable would then go and actually create the entire website structure for you. Different pages, images, text, the works.
So it's like those website builders where you drag and drop elements, but with AI doing all the heavy lifting.
It's way more advanced than that. You're literally telling it what you want, and it's understanding your intent and building the site accordingly. Plus, you still have complete control to customize everything to your liking. You know, change colors, fonts, add your own pictures, all that.
So if someone is like a small business owner or a freelancer and they need a website fast, Lovable could be a game changer for them.
Absolutely. It takes all the hassle out of building a professional-looking website. No need to hire expensive developers or learn to code.
Got it. Now, we also have Replit. Where does that fit in?
All right, so Replit is a bit different. It's a full-blown development environment where you can code directly in your browser, but it also has this cool AI assistance built in to help you along the way.
Okay. So if I want to build something more interactive than a static website, like a tool or a simple game, would I use Replit for that?
Yeah, Replit would be great for that. Let's say you want to make a simple tool that adds two numbers together.
Right.
You could tell Replit, create a simple web application in Python that takes two numbers as input and displays their sum.
And it would understand that.
Yep, it would generate the Python code, set up the interface, and even give you a live preview of your app, all within your browser.
That's incredible. And can I continue to make changes to the app using natural language?
Absolutely. You can keep adding features and refining your app with more prompts, or you can dive into the code directly if you want to get your hands dirty. And one of the best things about Replit is that you can easily collaborate with others in real time.
So it's perfect for both solo projects and team efforts.
Exactly. And it also simplifies things like connecting to databases and deploying your finished app so you can share it with the world without any headaches.
Wow, it sounds super versatile. Okay, last but not least, we have Data Button. What is that one all about?
Data Button is like the data whiz of the group. It's all about building AI-powered apps that work with data, analyzing it, visualizing it, making predictions, all that jazz.
So if I have a business with tons of sales data, how could I use Data Button and vibe coding to make sense of it all?
Well, let's imagine you want an app that analyzes your monthly sales and predicts future trends.
Okay, that would be super helpful.
You could tell Data Button something like, create an app that takes my sales data from a spreadsheet and shows me a graph of predicted sales for the next 3 months. Data Button would then connect your spreadsheet, do all the number crunching and analysis using AI algorithms, and then present you with a beautiful graph showing your sales predictions.
That's so cool. And all I had to do was describe what I wanted. It sounds almost too good to be true. Are there any downsides or limitations to this whole vibe coding approach?
Well, as amazing as all this is, AI isn't magic,
Yeah.
at least not yet.
Right.
So there are definitely situations where it might fall short. Like if you need an app with extremely complex logic or some very specific niche functionality, you might still need to do some manual coding or tweaking.
So it's not like I can just describe any app I can imagine, no matter how complex, and the AI will build it perfectly.
Not quite.
Yeah.
AI is getting really good,
Yeah.
but it still needs some human guidance for those really intricate or unusual cases.
And what about testing? Do I still need to test the app thoroughly, even if it was built by AI?
Oh, absolutely. Testing is always crucial. Even though AI-generated code is getting more reliable, it's not foolproof. You always want to make sure everything works as expected, it's secure, and there are no hidden bugs.
That makes sense. And what about design? Can AI really create visually stunning and unique designs? Or is it still better to have a human designer involved?
That's a great point. AI can definitely generate decent designs, but they can sometimes look a bit generic or need some extra polish to really stand out. So combining AI with human creativity is usually the best approach.
Okay, so it's all about collaboration between humans and AI.
Exactly. Let AI handle the heavy lifting of the basic structure and code, and then let human designers and developers add that extra layer of finesse and creativity.
Makes sense. So even with those limitations, why are our sources so excited about vibe coding? Why is it such a big deal?
Well, for starters, it completely changes who can create digital products. You don't have to be a coding expert anymore.
Yeah, that's a huge shift. What else makes it so important?
The speed is incredible. Vibe coding allows you to build things way faster than traditional coding methods, which is a huge advantage in today's fast-paced world.
And I imagine that speed also translates into cost savings, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Less time spent coding means lower development costs.
So it's more accessible, faster, and cheaper. What's not to love?
Exactly. And remember, the AI behind all of this is constantly learning and improving, so we can only expect vibe coding to become even more powerful and user-friendly in the future.
So for our listeners out there who have amazing app or website ideas but haven't pursued them because of the whole coding thing, what would you say to them?
I would say don't let coding hold you back anymore. Explore these incredible vibe coding platforms. You might be surprised at how easy and fun it is to bring your ideas to life.
That's a great message. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of vibe coding, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
The biggest takeaway is that this is a real game changer. AI and no-code tools are democratizing technology and empowering everyone to be creators.
I love that. It's like putting the power of innovation in the hands of everyone.
Exactly. So if you have an idea you're passionate about, don't wait. Start exploring platforms like Cursor, Lovable, Replit, and Data Button, and see what you can create.
You know, this all sounds so exciting. I'm actually feeling inspired to try some of these platforms myself. Thanks for opening our eyes to this whole new world of possibility.
You got it. It was a pleasure being here. And to everyone listening, happy coding. Well, vibe coding.
And that concludes our deep dive into vibe coding. We'll be back next week with another fascinating topic. Until then, keep innovating and stay curious.